Roman civilization grew along the Tiber River in central Italy. It was mainly first concentrated in the city of Rome. This was after the Romans conquered the Greeks in 146 BC. They found the city in 753 BC. According to the legend, this was done by two twin brothers, Romulus and Remus, who were abandoned on the Tiber River as infants and raised by a she-wolf. The two decided to build the city by the end of the 4th century BCE. The city was already the dominant power on the Italian peninsula. For 5 centuries thereafter, Rome's power steadily increased. By the 1st century CE, it controlled Greek and most of her colonies, as well as most of Western Europe. It expanded her hegemony in these areas through conquest. Rome also managed to take control of the powerful North African city of Carthage, hence uniting the entire Mediterranean region. She also controlled the Mediterranean Sea. At the peak of its power, her empire covered Egypt, Greek, Asia Minor, Syria, all to her east. To her west were Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco and Spain, Portugal, France, Switzerland, Belgium and England. She managed to conquer all these lands. Rome's development was greatly influenced by the geography of the Italian peninsula. The area had excellent marble and small quantities of red tin, copper, iron on the island of Elba, and silver in its extensive coastline. Love and wisdom, which is called philosophy. Subscribe, please. There were few good harbors, most of which faced the west away from Greek and the Near East. Ancient Italy, nonetheless, was well endowed with large forests. It had more fertile land than ancient Greek. However, it was more exposed to invasion. Invaders entered easily as the Arabs posed no effective barrier to invaders from Central Europe. To make matters worse, Italian low-lying coastline opened it to invaders from the sea. All this made the Romans from another time in their settlement to be absorbed in military pursuits to defend their own conquest against the invaders. The geography of the Italian peninsula made possible the rise of Rome. The peninsula extends about 750 miles from north to south with a width of about 120 miles. It is centrally located in the Mediterranean. The city of Rome is in the center of Italy. This central location made Rome to expand first in Italy and later in the land around the Mediterranean Sea. Italy's location made it easier to unify than Greek. The peninsula is not broken up into small, isolated valleys. The Apennine Mountains form the ridge from north to south and divides the country into west and east. Italy was equally blessed by having broad, fertile plains both in the north and the shadow of the Alps, and in the west, where the Romans settled. The fertile land supported her growing population. Rome was built on 7 hills and was easily defensible. The earliest settlers in the Italian peninsula lived in prehistoric times, from as the early of 1002 was the first. These groups inhabited the region and eventually battled for its control. These were the Latins, the Greeks, and the Etruscans. Latins were farmers and livestock keepers. They wandered into Italy across the Alps around 1000 BC. These people settled along the Tiber River valley in a region they called Latium. They are credited with building the first settlement at Rome. This was a cluster of wooden huts on Palatine Hill, one of the 7 here in the city. other main hills were Esquiline and Quirino. The Latins were the first Romans. Next to invade the area were the Greek settlers. They lived and they settled in the area between 750 to 600 BC. They brought with them elements of the civilization, where they established about 50 colonies on the coast of southern Italy and Sicily. Their cities became prosperous and commercially active. They taught the Romans farming, especially how to grow grapes and olives. Unlike Latins and Greeks, the Etruscans, or Razena as they called themselves before they were given the name Etruscans, were native to northern Italy. These people were skilled in metalworks and engineering. They exerted a great influence on the Roman civilization. This was especially in writing, where the Romans adopted their alphabet, and which had been borrowed from the Greeks, where they influenced Rome's architecture, especially the use of the arc. The Romans are also said to have borrowed religious ideas from both the Greeks and the Etruscans. Example, from the Etruscans, they borrowed rituals which they believed helped them to win the favor of the gods. The Etruscans are also the ones who built the city of Rome and even gave the Romans their dress, the toga and short cloak. The Romans also borrowed their military organization. The Romans from the Greeks even took Greek gods but changed their names. Example, Zeus became Jupiter, while Hera, the queen god, became Juno. They also gave Rome its artistic and cultural models through their sculpture, architecture, and literature. So, thank you for giving me your attention. So, I'm called Adolf, and I'm thanking to all of those who are watching or who have been watching this documentary. Please make sure that you have subscribed in order to get more information about this channel. Please subscribe and click the button link, click the link and the open bell in order to
philosophy. Subscribe, please.
To contribute and also to distribute these knowledgeable documentaries and skills. So, history is the stone which built the society, so it is relevant. That is the reason why we have to analyze in order to prepare for a good future. Thanks. May God protect you.